Welcome now to North Sydney Oval for this battle for survival that's befallen the North Sydney club. Tonight they go in against Eastern Suburbs, knowing that their North Shore partners down the road, Manly, are just waiting for North Sydney to drop their guard. Tony Ray takes them out. It's a beautiful night, a winter's night, of course, and quite a good crowd on here for one of the very few night matches played at North Sydney Oval. This is the team. Barwick, another in the long list of fullbacks for North Sydney. Makepeace, MacArthur Hall, Halligan, Florimo, Solomon, Jones, Ray, Fennick, Larson, Wilson and Moore, and they're coached by Peter Louis. Fireworks and plenty of entertainment here at North Sydney Oval as Eastern Suburbs takes the field. Victorious over Newcastle last weekend in New Zealand. They were down 18-4 at one stage. They finished the game with only 11. They still got the Winfield Cup points, and of course it's been a turbulent week and all centred around that fellow Gary Freeman. This is their team tonight: Silver, Appleby, Ricketson, Orford, Werrett, Doyle, Freeman, Tassel, Marshall, Lowry, Prothero, Casato and Gaffey. Wayne Marshall in the headgear and the number 9 jumper, back in the top grade. Dwyer has been wearing it for the major part of the year. Beautiful ground. Down there on the sidelines, we say a very good evening to Steve Roach.
Yeah, good evening, Ray. Not much breeze to speak of down here. It's a beautiful night for rugby league. North Sydney have had their problems with the fullback. In the last 5 weeks, this is the 5th fullback that they've used, Greg Barwick. The lights are very low here. They look like they're looking right into your eyes. I think both sides are going to have trouble with the high ball tonight.
Watch for that. Greg McCallum is the man in charge. Eastern Suburbs from right to left. North Sydney, 1 point in front of Manly. Manly supporters will be watching this match with an equal amount of keenness to the North Sydney people. 21 for North, 17 for Eastern Suburbs. Points against pretty much the same. Norths have been able to get the ball over the line more than Eastern Suburbs. Peter Sterling's with me, so's Paul Vorton.
The equation tonight, Ray, you would expect South Sydney to beat Manly this weekend. I know you cannot underestimate Manly to beat South Sydney. You can't underestimate South, of course. If North Sydney lose this game, that would see Manly leapfrog them. With 4 games to go, Manly do not have a bad run home. So a loss tonight for the North Sydney side could see them behind Manly and not be able to make up that leeway. It's a must win.
Craig Wilson. Been in the number 12 second row position for quite some time, with David Fairley in and out of the side. John MacArthur's playing centres. Solomon's in the 7. Fennick for Florimo. 20 metres out from the line. Solomon on the left foot. Grubber kick, well weighted. The fullback makes a mistake. North Sydney go for the corner.
Well, it's a big chance there for the Bears after the East mistake, but North have started this game very, very well. Great set of 6 there, did everything right. Solomon, the little one on the end of it, and a mistake here by Silver.
And David Hall, if he picks that up, he scores.
Exactly.
The header from Rod Silver. That's Steve Werrett. Nobody faster in the game of league. You can have your Martin Offiers. You can even throw Lee Odenrine in if you like. You wouldn't mind having a splash of yours for theirs on Steve Werrett. Now, down the line goes this North Sydney centre, Jeff Orford. It's been a long run. Eventually, North Sydney shut him down. Struck 4, that'll restart the tackle count. No, they've got it back.
Oh, that's a big play there from Greg Barwick. Magnificent pass from Gary Freeman to put Orford away down this left-hand side. A great second-man ball caught Daryl Halligan out. All ends up. Gavin Jones didn't have the speed. Now, from this play, the ball, Barwick kicks out in the tackle. We see a lot of penalties awarded, but the referee deemed it was fair and he got his side possession.
Gee, I thought Barwick should have gone to him rather than let him run an extra 20 metres there, because MacArthur had the inside man covered.
Barwick, a member of the Panthers grand final winning side in '91. His fortunes haven't been as high as his aspirations since. Solomon, he's been under pressure. He still is, of course. The talk is that Jason Taylor has contracted to wear his jumper next year. Silver playing it head-to-head. Have a look at these two. They've seen plenty of each other. Foundation clubs of the league. 163 times they've met, and East's dominated. And here at North Sydney Oval, that frequency of victories is not quite so high for Eastern Suburbs.
Penalty here against Mario Fennick. Hands in the play, the ball, he moved off early. And so East now get a bit of relief. Nigel Gaffey to football in a touch. Jason Tassel playing front row tonight for the Eastern Suburbs side, normally a second rower. Interesting to see how he goes.
Cameras tonight working from the opposite side of North Sydney Oval, so you're seeing new pictures from here. We're watching it obviously from the same side, and it's a as I said, it's a beautiful little ground, and it's ideal for television. We're shooting over towards those grandstands. That's where Blocker is on that sideline. Yes, Steve.
Yeah, interesting move from Eastern Suburbs, putting Jason Tassel in the front row. I've got a theory that if you're over 105 kilos now with the new 10-metre rule, it's very hard to get back into the fence for the full 80 minutes. That's probably why East have put him there.
That rules me out too if 105's the deadline. Instead of making it yourself, Fatty. Here's Casado. Oh, that's a shocker of a bomb that's gone up and gone backwards. Bounce favours the Bears. Tony Ray 30 metres out from his own line.
Paul, I've always thought that North Sydney Oval was one ground that did give the home side an advantage. It's a difficult ground to play on. It seems to sit differently to other grounds that you do play. Kicking always tough to do on this ground. And I think there are going to be occasions tonight where we're going to see something that looks like a forward part, but may not necessarily be.
Yeah, it's a lovely ground to play on, but North's very hard to beat here. They've lost 3 times actually here this year. Balmain beat them a couple of weeks ago, but their forwards, aren't they, going well? That's a beautiful ball there by Wilson.
Florimo running off the right-hand side of Craig Wilson. Now Solomon comes to the right, waits the kick again. And Eastern Suburbs again under extreme pressure. Appleby has cleaned up, but I think a replay will show that he only just had the ball, and that's all.
Well, I'm interested to see whether Halligan was holding on to him in the chase as well. A little kick in behind. See, Appleby was held off there by Halligan. It could almost have been a penalty against Darren Halligan, the North swinger.
More importantly, North Sydney do have the feed.
10 metres away from the opposition line. Florimo, happy to just catch and pass. MacArthur! Johnny MacArthur! 2 metres from the line. From Larson away, a shocker. Craig Wilson takes it to ground. The impetus has gone out of the attack because of that shoddy pass. Now Fennick.
Billy Moore is standing very wide to the right. They go back left through Solomon, straight through.
Oh, is it ever so easy? Well, there's no need to get too excited about that. Unless, of course, you're a North Sydney supporter Noel Solomon has cut through like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
Solomon has gone in for one of the easiest tries of the year.
Just look at the East defence. Didn't show no urgency. Nigel Gaffey more than likely at fault there. He didn't come up in the line with the rest of the blokes and left the big gap there for Solomon.
Yeah, I think Tony Casado was at fault, the number 12 also. They didn't come up off the line. And Noel Solomon changing the point of the attack. Really, probably the softest try we've seen scored this year in a game as crucial as this.
Well, as soon as he got the ball, he was going to score a try, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I called it superbly, Paul.
I'm calling quite a few tries lately.
Are you what, still, eh?
Are you there, Stephen?
I noticed when Mario Fennick made that big break then and he got up and played the ball quick, Tony Ray gave him a pat on the back. And it was a quick play the ball that Solomon made the numbers and scored the try.
Daryl Halligan. 55 goals for the year. 86% success rate. He keeps that online. And the Bears, the crowd rejoices. They lead 6-0 over Eastern Suburbs. We start for boys from Bondi, and this fellow, that was just a perfect example of how confident he is, Solomon. From the kickoff, he's raked it in with one hand, tucked it under his wing and said, watch me.
Well, he started well, hasn't he, Solomon? Directing play well from the halfback position. Couple of little kicks, beautiful kick up there, which have, you know, been very good. And the try, he's had a great start. But to me, Greg Florimo is the man, he's a key man in this North Sydney side. They missed him last week when they played Manly. And he's back at 5'8" and plays his best footy there.
Fennick taking the pass from his dummy half right on the ad line. This is the last. Solomon. Beautifully weighted kick. His kicking game so far tonight has been spot on. And Silver's been forced back into the in goal.
And the man that Paul Thornton just pointed out, Greg Florimo, gets a pat there from Daryl Halligan, instrumental in driving Silver back into the in goal area. That's a line dropout. Plenty of momentum. And George Bartlett in 41 comes to the sideline. Any problems early for North, Steve, with Bartlett being used?
No, he's a very good utility player. I will find out if there's any injury to John MacArthur. I noticed that he's got a strapped right thumb, but I'm told now that it's his ankle.
So Bartlett comes on. MacArthur goes off. And Halligan takes it back to the 30-metre line on first play. Jones, I don't think, was looking at the ball. And that's a bad play by Norths. They have given up 4 tackles. Let's have a look at Jones. Well, he snatched at it. He didn't take. He certainly wasn't looking at the defence, but he wasn't watching the football. Now Lowry is going off for Eastern Suburbs. Gaffey. Casado. North's inside the 10.
It's amazing in 2 weekends of football in the opening minutes of both our Friday night games. We've had a player lost by either side early in the game. Last week, Parramatta Penrith, Robert Muchmore and Gillard went off. Already we've got MacArthur and Lowry replaced. Steve, what's the situation with Lowry?
Yeah, Jason Lowry, who was Eastern Suburbs' best player last week, has left the field with an injured ankle. The ground doesn't look as hard as it usually is here at North Sydney Oval. It looks pretty spongy to me.
And the high tackle here will be a penalty against the North Sydney defence. It's a replacement player on for East. It's Colin Ward. Gavin Jones looks as though he'll be the man spoken to. No, in fact, it's the 10, Mario Fennick.
No doubt about it. It warranted a penalty. And Eastern Suburbs are opting to go for the line.
Well, that's not showing much confidence in their goal kicker, is it? I mean, it's
Well, who is going to goal kick?
Well, that's right. It's only 25 metres out nearly in front of the sticks, and they've brushed it.
Here they come now, the Roosters with their first real chance to attack the North Sydney line. Freeman. Silva. Freeman was meant for that, but he slipped. He's come back with the football, but Norths have got the penalty because that ball touched Jeff Orford, and then Freeman fell on it in an offside position.
Well, there's the incident here that the pass went astray. Now Freeman touches it, and well, the other East player did touch it, but McCallum decided to give the penalty to North Sydney. But makes you wonder who will kick for East. Maybe Rod Doyle, the replacement 5'8". I know that he can kick the football. I thought they should have gone for goal then.
Well, they had to go for goal, didn't they? They're trailing by 6. It was an easy attempt. It would have been put dead, you would have thought. I know that Tony Casado kicks fairly well, but that's going to be a major problem for them tonight if they didn't have the confidence to take that early one.
Fennick. Solomon. Florimo. He's been strong in the early exchanges, Greg Florimo. Taking a couple of forward hit-ups. Solomon now. Working overtime, got the kick in. Left himself with little time, little space, but at least he took the ball right to the defence line. Put them in two minds. And that's an excellent piece of work again by Noel Solomon. Watch him, he just gets it before it hits the ground. And as I say, he took the ball right up to the defence line, finds the touchline.
As was mentioned in the opener, Norths haven't lost 3 on the trot. The win before that one was the miracle win against Canterbury, where it nearly goes through as well from the scrum win. And they were gone in that game as well, so it's been a little while since we've seen Norths at their best. Could so easily have been 4 straight losses.
This is Ward. Came on a couple of minutes ago, replacing the New Zealander, Jason Lowry. Gaffey. Had a fine season, Nigel Gaffey. Freeman. Prothero. And that's a very good tackle by Billy Moore. Freeman finding the line about 25 metres out. This is what happened in the lower grades. North 16, Eastern Suburbs 12 in reserve grade, and East's turned that around in President's Cup. There's any talk down on the bench there, Steve? It's probably only a matter of asking the question, who will kick for Eastern Suburbs?
Yes, we just found out, Ray. Shane Werrett, the winger for Eastern Suburbs, the sprinter, will take the kick to goal.
Well, they've shown little confidence in his ability so far. That's Billy Moore. Now Gavin Jones. And these forwards for North Sydney, they're making plenty of yards. Not so this time. Craig Wilson puts it down. Again, of course, we've got that outstanding game, one of the season's best games on Sunday. The edited highlights coming up at 6:30. Brisbane versus Canterbury. They've already sold, I believe, 45,000. That's pre-sold, so they could get 60,000 at ANZ on Sunday. Whenever they use the athletic track with temporary seating, they'd put 70,000 in there. Freeman. Not a good bomb. Came down off North Sydney hands. Raked away by Silva. Orford goes very close to the sideline.
Well done.
Now, I think McCallum's rule, this has come off
You're saying that
off
no Norths
Eastern
players
Suburbs' hands. Yeah, but it actually came off a North's hand, so it should have been 6 to go. But that's one he's missed. So bad luck for the Roosters, and Larson makes a good breakaway. He's beaten 4 of them.
Gary Larson. Better known as a defence weapon for North Sydney. Great State of Origin series this year for Larson. Classical back row Norths. And with due respects to Craig Wilson, I'm talking about when Fairley's in the side.
Yeah, sorry, Ray, just interesting that Wally Lewis, after that State of Origin series, rated Gary Larson as his most valuable player.
Fennick. Good work Backed up nicely by Ray. Craig Wilson goes towards the line. He's pulled down 10 metres short. This is the last. Solomon comes from left to right. Ray backs up, gets the pass away from ground level. Halligan got the pass to Larson, then to Fennick, off the left foot, waits it into the in goal. They go for it. North's come down with it. Still a chances on for the Bears. Turn back on the inside. Still alive by the Bears. And eventually Greg McCallum rules Eastern Suburbs to play the ball.
Razzle dazzle Bears. What about that? Mario's having an absolute blinder up front. Created that opportunity then for North Sydney. Gets a kick in here. Probably one kick in 14 years. Not bad for Mario in first grade. It was a goodie. And there's still a chance here. The Bears, in the end, the pass goes astray and East come up with the ball. That's fantastic footy by the North Sydney Grizzlies.
35 out from their own line now, Eastern Suburbs. Regrouping. Settling down on this set of 6 to get the pendulum swinging evenly. And Barwick brings it back. Now it's the Bears' turn. Billy Moore. MacArthur comes back to the sideline. Craig Wilson.
I do think Eastern Suburbs have to start testing the patience of Greg McCallum around the play the ball area. They must slow this North Sydney pack down, stop their momentum. Speed of the play, the ball is just giving these big North Sydney forwards so much room to move in. And Eastern Suburbs having all sorts of trouble containing them.
Oh, that's exactly right, Peter. And the 10 metres, of course, I don't think I've noticed the effect of the 10 metres as much as I am here tonight. Forward after forward, a wave of attack continues, and like a juggernaut, they keep eating away at the North Sydney line as these big North Sydney forwards pummel away.
I do think you'll see Gary Freeman get involved there now and just make sure that the player stays down that little bit longer before he's allowed to get up and play the football.
The North Bears the forwards are angling in behind the Eastern Suburbs play the ball area. There seems to be a gap on either side of the ruck there, and that's where they're making great ground, the likes of Jones and Fennick.
Appleby started the season with the blaze. Young Appleby, but then injury came down on him. 19 for Eastern Suburbs is Rod Doyle. He's playing in the 5/8 position. Prothero. As I say earlier, I haven't seen Mark Prothero play anywhere other than wing, but he's in the forwards tonight. I got a feeling he played there last week too. Casato.
They've used him the last 3 weeks at times, Ray, in that forward area. He's in the starting lineup tonight. It's on the last tackle. Tony Casato goes very high. Barwick underneath it.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, Barwick has lost it completely. Blocker was talking about the lights earlier on. The lights here aren't very high, and we're using supplementary lighting from the 9 network as well. Maybe Barwick got a bank of those lights in the wrong place. That's Werrett.
And that's very bad play there by Eastern Suburbs. First tackle, they put a blindside play on. Peter Jackson looks on. He might get a run a bit later. Played pretty well in second grade. But Werrett showed a little bit of inexperience trying to get round his man. And a good tackle by Makepeace to put him into touch.
Talking of Makepeace, that's him with the ball now. North Sydney leading by 6 points to 0. It's Gavin Jones. Billy Moore. He was looking both ways. The support play was bad there. Solomon with a long ball, picks up Florimo. David Hall playing in the centres tonight, does some nice work. Florimo supports him. Quick play the ball, Larson away. Wilson takes it towards the 20-metre line. Kick and chase for himself. Silver's equal to it. And Rod Silver turns defence into attack. 12 metres from the halfway mark.
Now here's an opportunity for East to get a roll on. If Casado can get a quick play of the ball here, or struggling to get back, fairly slow play of the ball takes away the momentum that North had enjoyed.
Halligan struck for prematurely by Gary Freeman, and the penalty goes to Norths.
Well, let's just have a look at this one. Was it any different to the one at the other end? I don't think so. The ball was on the ground. It's open game. North's got away with one in the opening couple of minutes at a dangerous time. I thought that was fair enough. What do you think, Paul?
Over the slather there, yep. Perfectly legitimate what Gary Freeman did, and a mistake there by McCallum.
North Sydney now. Very good opportunity in front of them. That's the first. 18 metres out from the line. Fennick. Powerful effort early on from Mario Fennick. Jones runs the decoy. Solomon links in behind. And this has gone forward, I feel. It might be an Eastern Suburbs ball, it is. That's Ward. Freeman. Close quarter play by Eastern. Orford dragged down by Halligan. Appleby. Gaffey. Fennick on Gaffey. Show of strength by the young Eastern Suburbs lock. Ward. Jones the tackler. This is the last. Doyle. Not a bad kick. In fact, Casado went through, raked it down. So it's going to be the scrum to pack. North leading 6-0 after 24 minutes. The impression that that ball was definitely raked down by Tony Cassato. Now, Eastern Suburbs getting it within about 8 metres of the line, but it's all to no avail.
Poor
It was a forward
there.
pass.
Nigel Gaffey, before a tackle had been completed, straight from the scrum win. There was a dead set handoff in front. There he goes out from the scrum base, going in between Florimo and Billy Moore, and a handoff to his support player, had to be forward.
David Hall. 6-4 scrums to Eastern Suburbs. Greg Barwick. Jones. There's another example of this 10-metre rule. I know, Blocker, you've got some very strong opinions on it.
Yeah, North Sydney seem to be getting, instead of coming from right back at 100 miles an hour onto the ball, they're getting it shallow and then sprinting, so they're getting that extra yardage and saving energy.
And they're getting very good dummy half service from Tony Ray, Blocker, something that doesn't get mentioned all that much.
Yeah, he's doing very well from dummy half, Tony Ray, but the North players are playing the ball twice as quick as the Eastern Suburbs players.
You watch Tony Ray's dummy half work, it's a perfect example of how you can save a bit of time. He passes from the ground. He doesn't stand up and then pass. He passes off the deck, and it just saves a couple of tenths of a second.
He also puts the ball in front of the man too, Ray, very important, so that the player can run onto the ball, doesn't have to stop and wait for the pass behind. It's an injured player here. Is it Jason Tassel in the headgear? Yes, his defensive work in this game has been very strong for Easts. He's already come up with 15 tackles, and they've all been very good ones. Just got hit in the side there by Billy Moore and MacArthur. He's landed fairly awkwardly. It'll be a big loss for Eastern Suburbs if Tassel can't continue after losing Jason Lowry. Two front rowers who will play the ball and see how he goes in the next couple of minutes.
Prothero trying to break that North Sydney defensive line. Gaffey with the clear. Callaghan. Barwick going straight across the ground before trying to straighten. To get the footy show on Sunday, hosted by the fat man.
I think day 2, Ray, we've got Balmain coach Alan Jones coming on to tell us a few of the reasons why he decided to resign. So that'd be well worth watching.
Tony Ray. Larson. Solomon just mixing his game up. That didn't quite work for him, but you've got to give him 10 out of 10 for trying something different.
Well, he's got a lot of options in his kicking game, hasn't he? We've seen him put some long raking kicks in. Here's a little one. He saw the east defence, some coming up, some dropping back, found the gap. Oh, here's a good break by Tassel.
Tassel down to the 30-metre line. Barwick lined him up and got him. He was over the sideline when he passed the ball.
He recovered from the injury fairly quickly. What a shame that he headed towards the sideline early in the tackle count after making that bust. Trying to go away from Barwick. He was never going to have the speed, and Barwick, you can see the momentum going his way. A vain attempt to keep the ball in play, but again a turnover early in the tackle.
Well, it's dead set 17 or 18 tackles that East have blown by going into touch or throwing forward passes. They're giving too much football to Norths.
Billy Moore. Larson. Jones. Last year, these two sides they met on the 2 occasions as McCallum calls it back. East beat Norths both here and at the Sydney Football Stadium, and beat them by the same margin on the occasions they met, 16-4 and 18-6. So East were the better of these two sides last year, and of course they met in round 2 this year, and a draw was the result. Casato. Doyle turning it in for Orford. Freeman. Ward. Ricketson.
Let him go, let him go, roll away.
Casato out wide. And what will they do here? They go away from Freeman. They line up with Gaffey. Appleby has got a lot of traffic around him. That's the turnover. So the Bears enjoying the 6-point lead. A try that came earlier, and it came so easily.
Got an Eastern Suburbs player on the sideline there who hasn't moved since being involved in a tackle. I think it's Luke Ricketson receiving attention as Gavin Jones hitting a good tackle front on Colin Ward. He's been in all sorts of trouble, Ricketson. About 5 or 6 tackles now. The report is that he's got a pretty nasty cut up around the eye area.
I think you'll find there's also a contact lens gone, Peter.
Oh, that's what it is, yeah. They're pointing to the eye, it's the contacts come out.
The trainer is still down there on his haunches looking for the lens in amongst the North Sydney turf. Silva scurries across. There's some work to be done here. Comes out of the far corner. And where we're working tonight, right in front of the Molly dive stand. Marshall. I know he's a mate of yours, Paul. In fact, I'd like to think he's a mate of mine, Wayne, but he's got a big job in front of him with this other fellow snapping away all the time, O'Dwyer.
Well, Craig O'Dwyer's took over from Wayne Marshall early in the year, after about the third game, as a matter of fact. But O'Dwyer was dropped for this game, and Marshall's got his chance back in first grade. He's a fine player. He won East Best Player Award in 1991. There's a loose ball there. North should come up with it. They do. Solomon's away.
Hall ran the angle. Billy Moore gets it away for Wilson. Second tackle now for North Sydney as Fennick tries to promote Florimo. Greg Florimo just outside the 20-metre line. Ray Solomon. Runaround was offered by Wilson, but he takes it to ground. Fennick. Tony Ray scampers into a little hole himself. They're just 11 metres from the line. Solomon, cut out ball out the back. Florimo turns it back inside. Wilson goes for the line, but the ball has come loose.
Well, how close are North Sydney going to go to scoring tries? 2 or 3 times in that far corner. It looked as though it was going to be a definite try, as penalty awarded to Eastern Suburbs, and a timely one at that. Craig Wilson only a couple of metres out here. Good ball back inside from Florimo. Good tackle up high from the number 19 Doyle. Jolted the ball loose. They've almost looked like a better than 6-point aside lead in this first 30-35 minutes. They've dominated the game really, but it's not reflected on the scoreboard.
No, they've been the better side for sure, but East, give them some credit. Their defence hasn't been great, but it's been good on their own in goal line, and they've really hung in there.
They're scrambled well. That's something you do expect from Eastern Suburbs. Now 35 metres out, they have a chance here to be an enormous boost, and if they could score and even go in at 2 points down or equal with North Sydney at half-time on this first half performance.
This is Prothero. 25 metres out from the line. Freeman, Doyle. Again with Gary Freeman. Made it obvious that he wants to be with the Warriors at the start of their Winfield Cup career. And it's caused quite a bit of discomfort for the Eastern Suburbs club. Makepeace. MacArthur. Jones. So, listening to your theory on the 10-metre rule, blocker, the real big man in the game of rugby league is an endangered species.
Yeah, it's a bit of a twofold thing in my way of thinking, Ray. I mean, when you've got the ball, you can make the user yardage, but when you haven't got the football, if you're a big bloke, it's very hard to keep getting back for the full 80 minutes.
You're right, Block. I mean, look at the games that as North City decide to go for goal here, Halligan's coming in. He's about 42 metres out. Jones and Fennick have had outstanding games tonight, haven't they, in attack especially?
Yeah, they have. I've been really surprised with the effort that they've put in tonight. They had to. They've lost 3 in a row, and them two are playing well, along with Gary Larson's cleaning up a lot around the rucks.
Well, on that subject of the modern-day big man in rugby league, and I suppose on the subject of rugby league generally under the heading of athleticism, I don't know that they can change the rules much more, because they're asking so much of the human body. Are we getting down to just one team with a squad of 20 and unlimited replacements, Peter?
Well, that may be the way it goes. The game is being made for the likes of the Paul Harrigans. I think with the 10-metre rule, you've got to give away some penalties, Ray. I think
It doesn't surprise me coming from a number 7.
Well, I'm not condoning the fact, but I think you do have to test the referee's patience as that one goes just wide. And has Silver got a hand to that one in the field of play?
He has. Goal line dropout. So another mistake there by the Roosters, and
6-0 in favour of the Bears after 35. This is going to amount up to a bit of pressure for Eastern Suburbs.
And Rod Silver will be hoping that lazy piece of play is not going to be punished, because that's all it was. He just hung an arm out there, the ball touched it. North's now a set of 6, only 25 metres out, not long out from half-time.
Fennick is put down, 28 out. Blindside for Jones. Right on the 20-metre line. Solomon. Billy Moore ran the decoy for Florimo. Defence good by the Eastern Suburbs players. Prothero, one of them. Marshall, another. Solomon again. Solomon slicing through. Picked up again by Tassel. Thought about getting up and going again, Solomon. This is the last. They might go for the drop goal. They do. Johnny MacArthur. Referee McCallum acknowledges. That's a point. Good tactics by the Bears. They lead 7-0, close to half-time.
And why not just before half-time? Johnny MacArthur, all the time in the world. Eastern Suburbs now need to score twice to get in front in this game. We mentioned psychological blows that are delivered during the course of the match. That is one of them. Just getting that little bit extra lead. MacArthur did it very coolly.
I think it's, Peter, isn't it, testament to the East defence in their own danger zone that it forced North to take a shot at field goal when maybe at another time they might have gone for a try.
Well, I don't know, Paul, in that situation with only 2 minutes to go, I think that 6 in front or 12 in front, they'd probably always go for the field goal. I agree with you, Eastern Suburbs have defended and scrambled very well, but I think that was the right option under any circumstances. You just couldn't kick them. Well, not well.
Barwick. Jones. Ward, Gaffey, Marshall, all contributing to the defence. That's Billy Moore. He's got that distinct swerve and little step on his approach. Larson topping the tackle count for North at 16. But the blokes that have been doing the work for Eastern Suburbs are Marshall with 22 and Tassel with 20. Solomon plugging it down into that corner, and Rod Silver with a little juggle before coming away. And they're working over on your sideline, Steve Roach, at the moment.
Yeah, Ray, I'd just like you to have a look. I just noticed every time North Sydney have got the ball, as well as Eastern Suburbs, they make 60 or 70 metres every time they a set of 6 if they don't make any mistakes. That's because of the 10-metre rule. Just watch it.
At least the sick of watching it, really. Casato taken out after the kick. I think it's okay. Yes, McCallum says it is. Touch judges don't do anything about it. Makepeace right on the halfway mark. Wilson, the pass inside, knocked on by Gary Larson. So we've got another scrum to pack down. That statistic we gave you earlier, my goodness, there'd be some old-timers reflecting on some battles between these two sides. 163 times they've met in first-grade competition. 111 wins for East, 43 for North. 9 times they've drawn. There's that siren in the background, so Silver puts it in the air. Ball coming down, it appeared off the hands of a North Sydney player. If Florimo drops on, this will be offside, and it's a penalty. Yes, it's got to be a penalty. Penalty goes to Eastern Suburbs. Once it came off the North Sydney player, Florimo was obliged to stay away from the East player, who was a mile offside. Now what will they do? The siren is gone. Freeman. Doyle. Wide ball for Gaffey. A long pass, but it's going over the sideline. And that's where the players are going as well, as they head for the dressing rooms. First half completed. North Sydney with a try by Solomon, converted by Halligan, a drop goal by John MacArthur. Little chat there between Florimo and McCallum brings a laugh from both. North 7, East 0. More in just a moment.
North Sydney enjoying their first game at home under lights on Friday night, leading 7-0 at half-time. And the statistics, we say they should be a little bit more in command of this game. 57% is a lot of possession. The biggest problem for them is the handling errors down the bottom. They've committed more than the opposition. That has retarded what they've been able to do with the football.
7-0. The Bears. Solomon the try, Halligan the conversion, MacArthur a field goal. Now we've got North Sydney running right to left, and Eastern Suburbs with the job in front of them. Lowry is back on. East lost him early in the game. Tassel has gone off. That's Ward. Casato. A lot more facets to his game, Tony Casato, than maybe he gets the chance to display. Peter made the point that he can kick for goal if he has to, but he's got a very good boot on him and he can stand in as a kicker in general play, Tony Casato. Mario had a strong first half. Craig Wilson. Cold night, still night, but clouds and quite a good crowd at North Sydney Oval. Probably not as big a crowd as promoters would have hoped. They have played here at night time before. Some people were of the opinion, and I was one of them, that this was the first night game at North Sydney, but Paul tells me he played in a match here back in 1980.
89, perhaps the old Eagle days. We played North Sydney here in 1989 and we got beaten 14-12.
Anything from the sheds at halftime, Steve Roach?
Yeah, in the North Sydney room, Peter Louie not that happy. He said if you control the ball better, we would have been a lot further ahead. And he also said, I don't mind you playing football, but don't play football in your half, play in theirs. In the Eastern Suburbs room, they're making too many errors in the early in the tackle count. They've got to control the ball a bit better. They've got to lay on the North Sydney forwards a bit more, but they're pretty happy with a 7-0 scoreline.
I don't mind you playing football, but please play in their backyard. They come up with some good lines, the coaches these days. Halligan. Good coach, this fellow, Peter Louie. Barwick. Jones.
Hasn't done a bad job, Mark Murray, since coming into the first grade ranks as well with this Eastern Suburbs side. Led the competition for the first 3 months last year. And they're still in some contention this year if they can win all their games and a few results go their way. Evan Jones putting a real thorn, takes it 42 metres out on the last tackle.
Barwick's kick just sitting up inside the in goal. Appleby brings it out. Good kick and chase by North Sydney. It didn't look like such a flash kick, but it served the purpose. Finding the line doesn't really achieve too much these days, except it gives you a chance to get your defence line set. Casato. Those cycle shorts that have been made so damn popular. Saw a game in, where was it, Perth, those school kids, or in Adelaide last week. There wasn't one of them without them. So somebody's watching the game over there and talking about Adelaide. Thank you for your hospitality last Sunday. Barwick. Mark Murray, he probably doesn't get the raps that he should get, Peter. Mainly, I think, is because of the fact of the Jack Gibson presence. Not that Jack looks for the publicity, but I think it probably tends to distract the attention away from Mark Murray a little bit, having Jack Gibson there as a manager. And that's becoming in vogue, isn't it? This coach-manager relationship. And now Barwick makes the break, takes it to the 20. The Bears, I was about to say, on the boil for the line.
Well, he bombed the try there. Had MacArthur on the inside unmarked, didn't pass it.
Through quick hands, it comes to ground. And it's a penalty to North.
And Eastern Suburbs will just about cop that. MacArthur should have scored the try. And North, well, Craig Wilson rushing across. I've got no doubt Halligan will kick for goal here once things settle down. But if that ball had have got out past the first or second receiver, they'd have scored out wide on the next ruck. Barwick deciding to take the man on the outside. MacArthur was running free on the inside.
Halligan's going to take what will be a simple penalty shot at goal. This was Barwick, Fatty. I'm just wondering what options he really had head on. That East player got in between him and MacArthur. You might have just seen him disappear out of the lens.
Maybe you're right, Rabs. Maybe he did the right thing. From the front-on shot, it would appear so.
Well, I still think he should have passed the football. Orford was behind him.
I'm not arguing that. Here it is again.
It's a beautiful ball by Florimo, wasn't it? Good decoy too there by Craig Wilson, I think it was. Now here's Barwick. MacArthur's coming. No, look, there's no one with him.
He's overrunning.
He's over. He's under the sticks.
Sterlo's right. He should have passed for sure. Halligan now enlarges the lead for the Bears. 9-0 after 45. Well, it's all going along nicely for North Sydney, isn't it? No joy for that army of Manly supporters. Next 5 weeks is going to be a nail-biting experience for them. They've got to keep winning, and they've got to hope that this side...
This bloke, Gavin Jones, having an absolute stormer. He's made 4 runs in this half. He's made 15, 20 metres each run. He's having a great game.
I'm not saying that Manly are over the line against South Sydney. I do expect them to win that game. They'll go in as hot favourites. But North Sydney, by winning tonight, it means they retain 5th spot for at least another week. And we've only got 4 games left, so that's going to be very important that they can do that week in, week out.
Appleby. Back on his own line, he's probably better off picking up the football and just grabbing as many yards as he can instead of dancing on the same blade of grass. Silva cuts through.
Here comes
he
Werrett.
the defence. Here comes the support. He's run away from Werrett. He's found Doyle. Oh, if he passes the other way, Werrett gives them a cold. Werrett gives them a cold if he goes the other way. Wrong option taken by Rod Silva. Bad luck for the kid. Freeman. Marshall. Wayne Marshall. 9 metres out from the line now. This is the last. To the blind for Werrett. Puts it down. That's a try. Scored by Steve Werrett. He should have scored 3 plays ago. 9-4 in favour of the Bears now.
Well, he didn't give them a cold then, but he's given them some heartburn, something to worry about. Very difficult to contort yourself in a way to see where your support is. Silva's looking at him over his shoulder. He decides to pick up Doyle. Not long after, we see a very quick play of the ball from Wayne Marshall. That was it there. That set the try up. Freeman goes towards Makepeace. Some good strength shown by Werrett. Plants the ball over. They've hit back.
And the Roosters come back into the game with a lovely try to wear it out on the wing there. I thought North's defence could have done a little bit better, but good strong running by Werrett, and now the pressure on him. His first kick at goal for the night from right out wide.
Well, no doubt you've heard the story about this fellow, Shane Werrett. He won the Botany Bay gift earlier this year. He started off a reasonably good mark in that event, but the fact of the matter is that he is very fast, and he's the fastest man in rugby league for my money.
And hasn't he set a task for himself here? He's narrowed this. He's taking the kick from inside the 20-metre line, which means that the closer he is to the goal line,
the more acute the angle.
Exactly.
You've done some geometry in your time, Peter, it sounds.
Well, as I said before, sixth form was the longest 3 years of my life, Ray, and we did a little bit of mathematics there. It looks a fairly onerous task from that angle.
Here he comes. Oh, gee, Shane, thank God you can run. Blocker. Blocker, it was a shocker.
That was a shocker, but I'll tell you what, that was great play from Shane Werrett. Rod Silver made the initial break. He backed him up here on the left-hand side of the field, and then he supports him and scores a try right over on the other side of the field. Who said this bloke can't play?
Yes, none of us.
He can't kick, but...
And a good quick play of the ball there too by Wayne Marshall, who's doing pretty well around the rucks tonight.
I was interested to watch that replay of Silver making that flashing run up the centre. I don't know whether you took any notice, but Werrett was taking a metre off him in every 2 yards, or every 2 metres that Rod took. Werrett was taking a metre off him. He was going so fast, and Silver's no slouch. Well, now, which way are they going to go? The Bears. They've opened the door and they've let Eastern Suburbs have a little sniff of it. Pressure there for the Bears. They're just dangling over the precipice of the Rugby League semi-finals, aren't they? Barwick. Nine 9-4. MacArthur. Larson. Florimo. Class player, this bloke, Greg Florimo. Came up in an era, though, where there's been a wealth of talent in the number 6 jumper. Solomon now. Started the game very busily. Silver. Dangerous player, you can't give him a yard. He showed that just a few minutes ago. Casato. Appleby. Chunky little winger. He's not a flash winger, but he's very strong, and he exhibited it then. One winger to the other. Werrett plays it. Ward gallops away from dummy half and takes it away from that sideline. They're 40 metres out now, as that picture shows. Freeman placing the ball.
Hasn't been a good chase here from Eastern Suburbs.
Halligan. That looks like Johnny McCarthy. Eastern Suburbs told to stretch, keep warm. All teams do that about every 10 minutes. Here's the Bears on a blindside raid now. Barwick. Wilson. Solomon. And urgent work by Eastern Suburbs inside backs. Doyle was the chief man. They go back to the blind. Jones. Florimo. Big kick. Silver in the in goal. That'll come to the 22 for the restart.
Did a great job there, Rod Silver. The post didn't help him, and they've got things underway very quickly. Casato looking for support, but he does take it 10 metres. It was a good kick there. He positioned himself, catches it in the in goal area. Back we come to the 20-metre line.
It was good work by Casato, Peter, but no marks to the support play. If Casato's going to go up and take a quick 22, at least you're entitled to be with him if you're a winger. He could have very easily made some good ground there off Werrett down the right. Bartlett getting ready to come back on. He's had a small period of time in the game. Lowry trying to force the pass, and North's come away.
Mark Murray won't be happy with that. I played under Mark a couple of years ago. He likes his sides to be patient with the football, and Lowry showed no patience whatsoever there. A ridiculous pass, and North City now back in Eastern Suburbs half.
Solomon. That's Craig Wilson through the gap. 35 out. Ankle tapping tackle ended that raid. Fennick. Solomon's kick very close to the sideline. It's come down to Prothero.
Okay, let him go, let him go. Well done.
It's a nice option to run around on the kick there. It didn't work particularly well for Norths there because the defence didn't come up, but by going around the man before kicking the ball, it normally brings the defence right up to you. It makes it harder for them to turn around and chase the kick. Mark Prothero read that well. In fact, he was the man that came up with the ankle tap on Wilson. So he came up with 2 good plays in a row.
What's the problem with Larson, Block?
Yeah, Larson's got a cork left thigh, but it looked to me like he was absolutely exhausted as he was leaving the field. He's had a lot of football, Gary Larson.
And he's done a lot of work tonight too. 26 tackles for him and 13 hit-ups. He's leading the way for them. Gavin Jones, 19 hit-ups. Outstanding effort by him.
I don't think he's called it a night as yet, but the way he was stretching, it looks like it's a groin. 55 going on for
Jimmy Smith.
Eastern Suburbs. Is Jimmy Smith, is it?
That's right.
Solomon cleaning up. Jones.
Same way.
Bartlett. Hard yards, and he took it up very strongly. Fennick does likewise. Able to get a pass off for Tony Ray. This is the last, so they'll clear now. Wilson. His dad, of course, Graham Wilson. The brother of young Allen. They're very good footballers. His dad, Graham, played for Australia out of the Newtown club. Late 50s, early 60s.
The chasing game from North Sydney on their kicks has been outstanding. John MacArthur and Greg Florimo leading the way. Every time that Silver or one of the wingers picked the ball up, met with a good straight line of defence, only 10 metres out from their own line. They've already gone 3 rucks and they're still to get outside the 20-metre area.
This is Smith. Freeman. Straight down to Barwick on the second bounce. Mario heading for the bench. Jamie Mathau is on in the headgear for North Sydney. Florimo made some incisive contributions to North's effort tonight. Always does, I know that. Mathau. Tonight, Greg has taken up some of the heavy plays. Solomon. High kick that went to the right. Halligan's come down with it. That'll be a turnover. No need for it. East have got it eventually. Doyle. I touched on that coach-manager relationship between Mark Murray and Jack Gibson earlier, and that is going to, I'm sure, become more the normal rather than the exception. I believe Souths are talking to Alan Jones in that area. You might put that on him on Sunday, Fatty, and the latest out of Balmain is that when Wayne Pearce is appointed, Billy Anderson will be his manager. Barwick. What's the problem with Mario, Steve?
Yeah, Mario's got a bit of a crook groin, Ray, bit of a crook groin. Also, I was talking to a couple of the North Sydney trainers. They said that North Sydney had a freshening up week this week. You'd think losing 3 in a row, they'd have a hard week. They dropped off their weights. They went swimming just to freshen up for this game.
Jones.
Well, they're playing good football, North Sydney, but Eastern Suburbs aren't out of this game yet. They're hanging in there nicely. And Norths continue to make good ground around those rucks, aiming in behind the East play the ball. Now they swing it wide.
1 hour of the match gone. Florimo turns it inside. David Hall gets it away for Makepeace. Makepeace goes in to score. The Bears breathing space again. Was there a little forward pass in there? I don't know.
Well, I reckon there might have been. A pass back on the inside here. Norths decided to swing it wide. They made the good ground up the middle. Nice pass there from Craig Wilson. Florimo into some space there. Now this pass, is that forward? I reckon it was. And David Hall, draw and pass situation, Makepeace on the outside with the glasses down.
It's a very well-constructed try, and Greg Florimo's pass was the key one, the one that there is some doubt over. The backline shot, Wilson again involved, and Florimo running into the gap. Pass back inside, where it was forced to stay on the outside. David Hall drew the fullback very nicely, and Makepeace takes the ball around just to make the conversion a little bit easier. Let's have a look at this pass. Unfortunately, there's no line to really gauge it from. Yeah, that's forward for mine. But it is a ground that it's tough to pick up those kind of things. We said that earlier.
Yeah, you're dead right. This ground from both our eye line and from the eye line of the camera, it does angle away from you. In fact, it angles away at approximately the same as that pass from Florimo to Hall, if I'm making myself clear. Daryl Halligan, 2 from 5. Or 2 from 3, I should say. And there's this one finding 2 more points for the Bears. The crowd likes it. 61 gone, 15 for the home side. Welcome back. Friday Night Rugby League. Big night of sport here in the wide world of sports. Rugby League out of North Sydney Oval. Then we go to Headingley and the continuation of the 4th test. Ironically, it's Graham Gooch's birthday. Happy birthday, Graham. Casado off and Moses goes on.
Don't say it.
No, I'm not going to say anything. I think this bloke next to me might, though, with red hair. Florimo.
He wouldn't know who Moses was.
Just bring me up to date on replacements, Block.
Yeah, I will. Moses is a local from Balmain. He's a Balmain junior and moved over to the Eastern Suburbs camp. A boy from Holy Cross you might be interested in, Ray.
Well, they're a fine school, aren't they? And they've brought on some great players. Benny Elias, the most famous of them. And, of course, Scott and Brett Gale, they came from Holy Cross. One of the dominating schools in the Commonwealth Bank Cup, which is nearing its conclusion. Penalty goes to Eastern Suburbs.
And Eastern Suburbs really need to get some points on the board fairly quickly now. The try was a real killer, a converted try there.
Greg Florimo's really put his stamp on the second half, Peter, hasn't he? His charging runs have carved Eastern Suburbs up, got them on the back foot, and that's another poor mistake there by the Roosters, having no luck tonight, and the Bears have got the ball 40 out.
I think the beauty of a player like Greg Florimo, Paul, the little things that he does in the game that maybe go unnoticed by everybody except his teammates. He is always the first player down there leading the chase, the kick chase. That's the greatest sign of enthusiasm there is. And with this man leading the way up front, Gavin Jones, Florimo's been able to do a similar job in the back line.
Solomon, Florimo, Barwick as his legs snapped from under him by Moses. Hall! David Hall, I was going to make the point earlier. He slotted into the centres okay, David. Sullivan's kick, too deep. Just on that feast of sport coming up. The cricket, of course, follows us tonight. Then tomorrow in Wide World of Sports, of course, the Commonwealth Bank Cup in the morning, but tomorrow in Wide World of Sports, Norman May and myself will be poolside for the Grand Prix swimming as Freeman makes a break that carries him down and over the halfway mark, down to the 20-metre line. Marshall, bad pass for him. That's taken the impact out of the attack.
Well, they're still short out wide North Sydney, but they've cruelled these Eastern Suburbs. They should have gone there the last 2 rucks. North's now getting their line intact. They might still earn a penalty, Easts. But they had a great opportunity out wide if they had the vision to see it.
Want to be careful here, North, that they don't do something stupid and finish up 1 man down.
Well, that was ridiculous. It's late in the tackle count, and Matthew got his hand in there. Second time for him. He was penalised about a minute and a half ago for the same instance. And there you go, another penalty, and East get a chance to put some pressure on the North line again to get back into the match.
Gaffey. Talking kangaroo tour for Nigel Gaffey. Ward.
I think Rod Silver would be the man they'd be looking to get involved here.
Freeman. Moses. Marshall. Looking at the line. He's angled over the line, but then forced back. 25 is Moses. Freeman. And Gaffey. Gaffey puts it down. McCallum has a look both ways. Points the finger. Eastern Suburbs back to 15-8 now.
Oh, magic ball there from Gary Freeman. A second man pass. Didn't look as though anything was on. As you see, well, it got Greg Florimo caught out in defence there. It was almost a shepherd play. I'm not saying it was illegal at all. It was just great deception there with the pass. Greg Florimo, you see him reaching out.
An excellent decoy here by Rod Silver. Very important decoys, and that was a beauty there by Silver. He took Florimo out, and the Roosters, they're hanging in there.
Yeah, it was a good decoy, but I don't think he gave that North Sydney defender much chance. The decoy has gone straight between the ball carrier and the defender,
But
I think was Greg Florimo.
It was, but I think he was far enough back for it to be a shepherd. I don't think he was in a position to make the tackle. He was.
You're saying that he wasn't actually obstructed?
No,
exactly.
didn't take him out. But weight of possession there, had about 15 tackles in a row, East, and it told his Gaffey.
Good kick by Nigel Gaffey. If he's got the length, the flags are up. Well, this crack is starting to open again. 15-10 to the Bears. Nigel Gaffey. Beautiful kick.
We mightn't see Shane Word kick for goal again in this match.
I think so.
Probably mightn't see him kick ever again after the one before. But James Matho, he should just have a look at himself. He gave away 2 penalties there, which gave East all the possession. And they've come up with a try. There he is there.
He's just a bit of youthful exuberance.
Yeah, well, a bit of youthful exuberance might have him back in second grade next week if he continues to make errors like that.
Well, Gary's spilled his lollies back inside the in goal. Freeman, he said, I'll play for East. I'm happy to play next year for you, but I don't want to commit myself for 95, obviously, because he wants to go to the Warriors. I guess you'd cop him up at Parramatta, would you, for 12 months?
Cop him for 6 months, Ray.
There's a mistake now by Nigel Gaffey in the play the ball. Trying to have a look at it, see if there was a hand in there. I don't think there was. He's struggling to get up, Gaffey.
Oh, so what was that left thing of Noel Solomon's?
Well, it was a hand. 5 fingers, and there you go. And Solomon got his hand in there. McCallum has missed it.
Solomon. David Hall ran the angle decoy. He comes inside the 20-metre line. Solomon picked up Makepeace. Makepeace very close to the line.
Great tackle, Gaffey in cover. Great lock forwards tackle.
Solomon again. Mathau ran the decoy. Florimo puts it down.
A little justice there for Eastern Suburbs. They should have got a penalty. There was all but a try there. Great work, as Paul pointed out here, from Nigel Gaffey to get across from the scrum loss to come up with the try saver. And from the next play, the ball just too far out in front of Greg Florimo. He had a lot of people outside him. As I stress, It should have been a penalty to Eastern Suburbs. Solomon did rake the ball.
Moses. Craig Wilson in trouble out there. Gaffey. 15-10. Norths. That was a good tackle by Barwick. Makepeace away from dummy half. Mathau. Two immovable objects. Going straight into Jimmy Smith. Jones creating havoc up the middle. Wilson inspired by the run.
It's great play by North. One forward after the other, and they're making easy meters still.
Solomon said, let me have a go. Rubbing right foot kick. Silva read it.
Peter, as an ex-halfback, I think Noel Solomon should have a look at some of his kicking options.
Yeah, that wasn't one of the best. Greg Florimo in all sorts of trouble in back play. He came up with the tackle. He's done a hamstring. He's reached straight for the back of the leg. It was an awkward tackle attempt on the man picking it up in Rod Silver, and straight away, let's just have a look. There he is there, and you see the pain. He's just laying straight out, and he's still down in back play.
Orford. North's one player down.
This one
Might have been a good idea to put the ball through the hands there, because they have to be short somewhere.
I think you find it might have just been a cramp, Sterlo.
Yeah.
He's worked on it, and probably the cramp in the calf, and he's jogging back. He's a long way back. He's 60 metres behind play, but he's coming.
Big Doyle, Jeff Doyle, he signed with the Perth Western Reds.
I reckon he got 120.
That's the figure I heard.
Very good.
Bartlett plays it. Florimo. Cramp has healed, I'd say, because he chimed in and went fast there for a few metres. Barwick. Just finding the line. Had it have touched that corner post, it would have been out to the 22 for the restart.
Beautiful kick by Barwick, and I think it's just what North needed. They're letting East back into this match, and he's had a pretty good game tonight. Barwick, he made one mistake early and he dropped the ball, but he could be the answer to North's fullback problem. He's gone pretty well. And
that is one of the occasions where you do want the ball to find touch. When you're leading on the scoreboard, you just want to wind things down at the right end of the field as far as the Bears are concerned. The more time that they can waste through things like scrums and set plays, the better off they are.
Say they've got a new face out there. Eastern Suburbs. Keogh is on in jumper 30. Colin Ward has been replaced. Gaffey hasn't stopped trying. Just one blemish on Gaffey's game when Solomon strolled in between him and Casato. Other than that, there's been nothing wrong with what Gaffey's done tonight. Barwick. Dickinson, the tackler. Makepeace is cramped up. I think they might have grabbed the wrong leg there, Tony. He's pointing to the other leg, Tony. That's our boy. That's the Channel 9 boy.
Oh, yes.
He grabbed him by the left leg and Makepeace is saying it's the other one, do you mind? Typical number 9. Bartlett.
Going all right for a man with a bad hamstring. Big flyer.
Rod Silver. Everybody's on once you've played the ball and made a mistake such as that. Doesn't matter where you've come from. Ricketson.
There's been some great defensive efforts there tonight by some of the East players. Mark Prothero, the former winger, playing second row. There he is, charging the ball up. He's had a pretty good game. 37 tackles for him. That's a great effort. And Wayne Marshall with 36. So there's been no lack of trying by the East side. They've stayed in there right to the end.
They need to convert a try now, and they'll probably look at what option has worked for them in the past. That's maybe running the ball on this last tackle. Freeman has decided, he's pointed to his outside men that he's going to kick. That's what he does. Is that 6 again?
Well, it should be. I think it will be.
Yes, it is.
Looked at his touch judge and said, did you see a touch?
Well, that's a waste of a tackle there, Jeff Orford, going nowhere from dummy half.
And North were all offside.
Moses. It was an exhibition of that new rule, or not new rule, but a new thing that Mick Stone has asked of his touch men. Ricketson. 15 out from the line now. Eastern Suburbs, they need a converted try. Moses.
A bit
5 gone.
Short on the left side too, the Bears.
They'll go high, won't he?
Freeman.
Great ball.
Onto the chest of Prothero, and East denied a try by McCallum.
Oh, Eastern Suburbs still hanging in there. Looked like getting the try. They decided to run the football. A nice pass by Freeman put Prothero into a big gap, and the last pass has gone astray. Ruled to have gone forward.
Let's have a look. Does it touch? Well, it's touched Greg Barwick's hand.
And it looked like it went back to me. I reckon that's a try.
It's been magnificent work, and he's reacted, Gary Freeman. It was a beautiful pass. Put his man into the gap. Doyle was caught out there in defence. Somebody have a let off there for North Sydney, and they'll be looking just to get things back on track now. Dummy half run from Ray. We'll probably see the same from Florimo. No, he offloads now. No mistakes down this end of the field.
Craig Wilson. Appleby to bring it back. to 10, just a couple of minutes to go. Gaffey. Now Norths have got the football back where Coach Peter Louis wants it. As he said at half-time, it's a good luck. Don't mind you playing football, but please play in their backyard. Moses has taken it to the back fence. Doyle. Barwick just watching it. And then away from the 20-metre line, jolting tackle.
Well, it's not a bad idea kicking for the quickest player in the field in Shane Werrett, but he's got to be told that the kick is going to be put through. Rod Doyle put one in behind the defensive back line of North Sydney. But look how far Werrett, well, he's not even in picture Werrett. He's got to be arriving just as the ball leaves the boot. No pressure at all for Barwick. Until he hit Ricketson.
Smart play by Ray.
This is a crucial set of tackles here for North Sydney. They must control this football and get a nice kick on the end of it. They want East back right down in their own territory. Gavin James still charging it up. 26 hit-ups for him. Great game.
Bartlett. Now the last, and they're just into East territory. predictably for Solomon. Silva.
Oh, there's been a bit of a swinging arm in the tackle there by Solomon, and McCallum's pulled him out for it. This will be a penalty to the Roosters.
Yeah, good to see Rod Silva get straight to his feet, but big step. Solomon coming over, swinging arm.
And he looked up straight at the touch, as he knew he was gone.
Well, David Hall's in back play getting attention as well. Just heard a call there, Hawley, we need you, and they do. They need a full complement. It's Gary Freeman trying to conjure up something here in the last minute.
I don't think these players with the cramp from North have been play acting. I think it's been Richie Didge. A lot of them, though, are cramping up. Freeman puts it in the air. The siren has sounded in the background. Last throw of the dice for Eastern Suburbs. Over the sideline it goes. That's the end of it. The Bears, their battle for survival, it continues. 15-10 in front of their home crowd in Friday night football. North Sydney defeating Eastern Suburbs. We'll be back with Peter and Paul just to sum it all up for you in just a few moments' time.